Okay, welcome back to episode 4 of Warhammer 40k Imperium, and this is issue number 4, and this was also the first issue of the second delivery, so we have our free gift. Last shipment, it was issue 3, I believe, of the shipment that was the free gift. But this week we got our modeling tools. Here we got our Citadel clippers, which should give me a lot more precision than what I have been using. And we also have a mold line remover. When I saw the pictures, I thought that this here was kind of a file, but it's really pretty smooth. So you just take it and basically scrape those mold lines down. I tried it out on some 3D printed stuff. It actually works pretty decent. And then we have a bottle of Citadel plastic glue. So that will be using, I believe, issue 6 with the Primaris captain. Okay, so that was the free gift for this shipment. And in this issue, we have 4 miniatures. We have the 3 Canoptek destroyers, and, the 3 Skorpekh destroyers, and 1 Canoptek Plasmacyte. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, here is our lead belcher and the sprue with the Skorpekh destroyers. And of course we have bases for all these models. Okay, well that is the contents of issue number 4, and let's go ahead and get into this week's lore. Okay, we have in this issue the murderous blade-limbed Skorpekh destroyers arrive upon the battlefield. You will learn the secrets behind the creation of the Space Marines and explore the terrifying dimension known as the Warp. Then, when you are done reading, you will build and paint and do battle with your Skorpekh destroyers. Get ready for your biggest game yet. Okay, and on here we have Elite 5E, the Skorpekh destroyers. Space Marines 3A, creating a Space Marine. Imperium 6A, the Warp. And then, of course, we have our build Skorpekh destroyers, paint Skorpekh destroyers. And then our playthrough 4A, destroyers Awaken. Now, in the paint section, it's going to be more than just the destroyers. Of course, it's going to go back and apply lead belcher to any previous models that require it. Okay, Skorpekh destroyers, deranged Necron killers. Many Necrons have descended into madness, but few as utterly insane as the Skorpekh destroyers. They have abandoned all ambition of hope and instead seek only to destroy organic life. They have had their bodies modified by cryptech engineers to make them lethally efficient killing machines. Necron nobles often use Skorpekh destroyers as shock troops, but they do not trust them. They fear the destroyers' madness may be infectious, and some even worry about who the destroyers will turn upon when their organic foes are slain. Okay, then we have hyperphase tertiaries. These blades vibrate across dimensional states, allowing them to cut through armor without resistance. Destroyer cults. There are many kinds of destroyer, all united by their shared desire to kill the living. Okay, and then we got this little guy over here on the right, the Canoptek Plasmacyte. Canoptek Plasmacytes remove corrupted programming from their fellow Necrons and inject it into the minds of the destroyers. This enhances the destroyers' insanity and drives their madness slaughter to new heights, at the risk of utterly destroying them. They have Skorpekh limbs. Skorpekh destroyers can move very swiftly on their tripod limbs. Nihilistic degradations. Skorpekh destroyers are manic in battle, driven by a desire to kill. And on the plasmacytes, they have sentient energy. A plasmacyte injects corrupted programs with monomolecular proboscis. Okay, and then we have their battle records. Skorpekh destroyers are powerful, close-quarters fighters, using their bladed limbs to slaughter their foes. Though awakened off the battlefield, in combat, their tripod legs allow them to pass through the enemy lines in a mad spin of slashing hyperphase blades, which is nearly impossible to evade or parry. Unit degradations. Units of Skorpekh destroyers often have names, usually ones related to death, violence, or destruction. And for examples, we have flesh shredders, bone collectors, or death heralds. Gifts of destruction. As well as their blades and legs, many Skorpekh destroyers have many other lethal modifications. Decay of the self. Though madness ran within the engrams, a single event spurred these Necron to become destroyers. Okay, it also says trigger for insanity. Engrammatic viral payload. The engrams injected by the plasmacytes induce many forms of madness. Okay, and examples for the gifts of destruction. We have hardened exoskeletons, enhanced servo motors, improved sensor systems. And for the decay of the self, we have corrupted reanimation, the Overlord's death, and defeated by a lesser opponent. And for the engrammatic viral payload, we have flesh envy, speed enhancing mania, and pain induced rage. Now, down here we have unending tally. Destroyers only seek the annihilation of the living. Use the space to keep track of every model your destroyers slay. Record of battle. As you play games, record your destroyer's deeds, victories, shameful defeats, and battle damage below. Examples: ambushed and slew a Space Marine captain and his bodyguard. Chest plate dented by crushing impact of a power fist. Okay, creation of a Space Marine. Creating a Space Marine is no easy task. Every one of these superhuman warriors is the product of astonishing energy, psycho-indoctrination, and decades of brutal training. It is a process so horrific that few survive. Such are the sacrifices mankind must make to defend the Imperium. All Space Marines will suffer greatly and be subjected to hardships and horrors during their service. The humans chosen to become Space Marines must be prepared physically, mentally, and spiritually to meet these challenges. Over a period of years, those chosen to undergo this process are trained rigorously in many styles of combat, learning how to operate the chapter's war gear, weapons, and vehicles. This training is accomplished by periods of modifications, hypnosis, and initiations into the chapter's history and rituals. In addition to this, they receive their biological implants. These gene seed implants are specifically grown from organ grafts. Some of them give the Space Marine unique abilities, such as the Becher's gland, which allows them to spit poison. Others, such as the sinew coils, enhance the strength and durability. The implantation of these organs must occur in a precise order, though the reasons why have not long been forgotten. Even the most learned Space Marines to find an aspirant, recruits must be youths, for only young bodies can accept the organ implants. These aspirants must pass deadly trials before they are chosen. Trials may include fighting each other to the death, or hunting a deadly beast armed with only a sharpened stick. Few aspirants survive these punishing tests. The Primaris. Thousands of years ago, the Emperor used advanced genetic engineering to create the Primaris, his superhuman gene children. The gene seed of all Space Marine chapters can be traced back to one of these legendary figures. The Apotheoses. The Apotheoses are responsible for looking after the gene seed of their chapter and performing the surgery that transforms an aspirant into a Space Marine. In battle, they act as combat medics and surgeons. Their most sacred duty is to harvest the gene seed from their fallen battle brothers. Only by doing this can new organs and Space Marines be created, ensuring that the chapter lives on. Gene seed. Gene seed is a raw genetic material used to create the organs implanted within an aspirant. Each Space Marine has 2 initial organs which must be collected to grow new implants. A Space Marine chapter's gene seed is the most precious resource. It is carefully monitored by the Apotheoses and must ensure that it does not become corrupted or damaged. And if you can see in this picture here, he has a gene seed harvested from the fallen. The Warp. Destinations and Daemons. The Warp is a dimension of pure energy that exists outside the fabric of reality, known also as the Imperium, the Imperium, and the Sea of Souls, amongst other ominous names. It is at once utterly essential to the existence of the Imperium and the most deadly threat to humanity. The Warp is a place where the thoughts, dreams, and emotions and ambitions of the galaxy's sentient races are given form. Its true form would drive even the most strong-willed mortal to madness. It is most often talked of as an endless ocean of power, whose currents are constantly changing. Long ago, humanity discovered that by piercing the boundary that separated reality from the warp, they could sail this dimensional ocean, crossing the vast distance between the stars in a fraction of the time that it would have otherwise have taken. The warp becomes humanity's gateway to spreading across the galaxy. Yet, the Imperium concealed many dangers. Like a real ocean, it is prone to terrible storms that can devour careless spacecraft or spill into our reality, ravaging entire regions of space with plagues, mutations, and other nightmarish curses. Worse still, the warp is home to a vast legion of cruel beings known as demons, who constantly seek to break into reality and slaughter mortals or corrupt and devour their souls. The Astronomicon. The Astronomicon is a physical beacon projected from Terra by the Emperor himself. It shines through the madness of the warp to act as a guide for spaceships attempting to navigate that perilous realm. Once the Astronomicon shone across the galaxy, but now vast regions of the Imperium are cut off from its light. Denizens of the warp. Demons are creatures spawned in the depth of the warp, wrought from the very essence of the Imperium. They take the form of monsters from the darkest nightmares and cruelest desires of mortals. When they spill into reality, they seek to corrupt and slaughter as many mortals as possible. Navigators. Navigators are psychic mutants who possess a third eye that grant them the unique ability to navigate accurately in warp space. All Imperial ships require a navigator to travel the warp. Blackstone. Blackstone is a mysterious obsidian-looking substance that can be used to entrance or navigate the power of the warp. In the region of space known as the Primaris, the Necrons have used Blackstone to create a network of towering pylons that appear to hold back the energies of the Imperium. These structures have rendered warp travel and communication in the Primaris almost impossible, as well as preventing demons from taking form in the region of space. Okay, we have how to build Skorpekh destroyers and Canoptek Plasmacyte. Okay, and this is all information we've seen before about how to cut them out and line them up. So we'll start with the first one here. We have parts 1, 2, and 3. So up here we have 1. Okay, that is part 1, and 2. Yeah, I'm already liking these clippers a lot better. There's 2, and 3 is over here. Okay, I'll take the new mold line remover tool. And we'll just smooth out these where these pieces were cut. Okay. Yeah, those clippers definitely a whole lot better. Like I'm really even not even having to trim off that much because it cuts it so close. Except on like rounded things here. That should be a little more. All right, where are the other two? And one on the body here. Okay, so I'm gonna, well, let's put this guy together. Okay, his spine goes in through the back there. And then the chest comes in through there. No. This, okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and speed up doing this last one, or the rest of this one, and then I'm going to go and assemble the remaining two. Okay, the three Skorpekh destroyers are assembled, and now the only thing we have left to build is the Canoptek Plasmacyte. Okay, and this is pretty easy. It's just two parts. We got 27, 28. I have to go back and check this. I seem to have an extra piece. So we'll see. Here's 27. Alright. And 28 over here. clean these up. Again, these tools are really helpful. I wish they would have been included in that first shipment. Would have made those first 3 issues a lot easier. Like I said, the clippers get so close that you barely need to trim anything. So you have trouble sometimes even seeing where it was cut. Okay. So I have 27 here. Looks like 28 just fits in here and here. And that, of course, goes on the... Oh, I see. Okay. 29's up there. Let's say, put it like that. Kind of want it more... Yeah, it's good enough. Okay, let's get the final piece here, 29. Smooth that out. I did have to, even though these are all no glue models, I did have to glue on the destroyers where the head meets the body, that there really isn't a peg or anything there. So it just kind of is held there. So there's nothing really holding it in. So I just went ahead and glued the faces onto the bodies there. Okay, so there we have the Canoptek Plasmacyte and the 3 finished Canoptek warriors, or destroyers rather. Okay, so those guys are done. And now we got our how to paint, of course. We got tips here. It says in this issue's paint guide, you'll be base coating your Skorpekh destroyers and Canoptek Plasmacyte with Runelord brass. After that, you'll apply lead belcher to your entire collection of miniatures. Before you begin, make sure you have your paints, brush, pot of water, and something to use as a palette. Runelord brass will serve as your base coat for your new Necron models. You will also need to thin down the paint so it is approximately 1 part water to 4 parts paint before you apply it. After applying Runelord brass, you'll have to apply lead belcher to some areas of the model. If you get any lead belcher on the Runelord brass, let it dry, and then apply more Runelord brass over the error in order to fix it. Okay, apply the first coat of Runelord brass to destroyers and Plasmacyte, then let it dry. When you are certain the paint is dry, apply a second layer, then set the model aside to dry once more. When the third layer is dried, or second layer is dried, apply a third. This should give you a smooth and even finish that you need. Okay, let's see here. Paint the halves of the blades the halves and the blades of the... Oh, that's getting in the blood vulture. Okay, so I'm gonna get my paint area set up. I'm gonna start with the base coat on one of the destroyers, skip to the rest, and then the Plasmacyte. Okay, back in a second. Okay, the models have been primed and are now ready to paint. And it looks like here everything is Runelord brass except for the weapon. Okay. So let's get our paint here. Whoop. I grabbed the wrong paint. I grabbed the Retributor armor instead of Runelord brass. So here we have Runelord brass. Okay. I thought that pot was a little hard to open. Let's get it shaken up real good. Okay. There we go. That is Runelord brass. Okay. Okay, let's get some out of the palette here. Going with that suggested 4-to-1 ratio. Get the water in there. Just mix that up a little bit. Okay, I guess we're going to start with this guy here. I want to make sure I'm getting all the nooks and crannies there. Also make sure I'm not putting on too much. Don't want to clog up any details. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. Now we'll speed that up and do the rest. Okay, have added the lead belcher to the mounts. Okay, starting to look like a complete miniature now. Okay, so now for the fun part, gotta go back to the Necrons and the Royal Warden and do the lead belcher on them as well. You see you have it on the weapons, also the pistons and the guts, I guess you'd call it. So I'm going to grab the Necron warriors and the Royal Warden and get those done up. Okay, we'll start with this Necron warrior here. And going over just the gun itself, trying not to hit his hands. Okay, just like that. And there's going to be some Runelord brass I got on here, but hopefully should be able to cover that up with a couple coats. And on the back here, get that handle without painting over the hand. Same thing for the end of the grip there. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed this up. I'll get to painting the rest of them. Okay, now the rest of the Necrons have gotten their lead belcher details. So I'm going to set these guys aside here. There's the Royal Warden. So I'm going to set them aside, and I'm going to get the Assault Intercessors, and we'll do the silver details on them. Okay, I have my Assault Intercessors as well as the Primaris Lieutenant set aside. And let's see here. It says now you can apply lead belcher to the weapons and armor for Space Marines. You'll need to paint smaller details here, so use the image and follow the guidelines carefully. Okay, so looks like we're doing begin by painting the vents on the top and bottom of the backpack using the tip of the brush. This will help you avoid getting paint over on the blue areas. Okay, then we have their weapons. Paint the pistol, chainsword, and grenades with lead belcher for now. You can come back to these weapons and apply more colors in later issue. Okay, then we have paint the areas on the side of the Space Marine's helmet. This belt buckle inside the detail of the storm shield with lead belcher. Okay, that's for the lieutenant. And the icons hanging from the belt are attached by chains. Paint the chain. Don't worry if you get some lead belcher on the icons. We'll paint these later. Okay, so I'm doing the vents of the jetpack, all the weapons, and the sides of the helmet, inside of the shield, and the chain. Okay. And we'll start with the grenade guy here. Okay, let's get the side of the helmet first. So you want that area, this little bump here. Damn it. And the hose that leads to the front of the mask there. I'm tempted to get out my fine detail brushes on this. That one little slip. Yep, that's definitely going to need to be touched up. This one's going to be a pain. It's right behind his shoulder pad there. See if I can get a better tip on this. Damn it. Would help if I had steadier hands. Well, you know what? Let's just take that arm off there. Yeah, I'm coming back over this. All right. Get the grenade. Try and not hit the blue at all. But if I do, which I already have, I can come back later and clean that up. and that I may just get that detail brush for. Because it's really hard not to get on any that's already painted. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and speed this up, and then we'll get to the other guys. Okay, the painting is done, and I did have to go back with a finer brush because unfortunately, I don't know if it's me or the brush, but can't keep a point on it, so I had to go back with one of my more detailed brushes to clean up the models. So they're all done now, so we're going to set these aside and we'll get into this week's gameplay. Okay, we have playthrough number 4, and as I forgot to mention in the beginning of this, we did get a new playmate. It's about 4 times as big. Actually, I just set it up down here on the floor instead of on the desk. Okay, so we have playthrough A, Destroyers Awaken. Having awakened a trio of Skorpekh destroyers, a Canoptek Plasmacyte moves to bring these devastating machines to life. Mission briefing. A Canoptek Plasmacyte drifts through the hallways of the corridors of the repair complex, activating resurrection routines and bringing the murderous destroyers back to life. A trio of lethal Skorpekh destroyers must protect the Plasmacyte from the Space Marine intruders as it completes its crucial task. Skorpekh destroyers, purge of the living. Having been roused from their slumber by Canoptek Plasmacyte, the Skorpekh destroyers consumed by their need to kill. Despite their drive for murder, they must protect the Canoptek Plasmacyte so that they can bring more of their kind back online. Space Marines. Having reunited with their Primaris lieutenant, the assault intercessors find themselves confronted by even more deadly foes. The destroyer cults stalk the darkness. They must destroy the Canoptek Plasmacyte before they can awaken more. Okay, I have everything set up here. Okay, now the terrain shown on the map, the shipping crates there. That's actually terrain that will be coming in later issues. But for this playthrough, it's just treated as normal terrain. Okay. dash sheets on all the characters. Okay. It's turn 1. The Space Marines strike first. If they are to destroy the Plasmacyte, they must first force their way past the Skorpekh destroyers. Okay, so Space Marines charge headlong at the foe, attempting to slay the Plasmacyte. One at a time, do the following with each model that you want to move. Keep the models outside the enemy engagement range of 1 inch. Advance. Move the models using dice +1. Cannot charge later this turn. Normal move. Move the model using your move. And from turn 2 onward, your models will be in a position to fall back. If a model is within engagement range of 1 inch of an enemy, it may only fall back. Move the model using move. It cannot charge later this turn. If a model has not advanced or fallen back and is within 12 inches of an enemy model, it can charge. Charge, roll 2 dice. This is the charge distance. Okay, well that's all new. Okay, so, but that puts you within the 1 inch of them, which you don't want to be in the 1 inch of them. Okay, let's see here. All right, so oh, okay. I see. All right, so they are going to, they're just gonna charge. Well, are they within 12? Yeah, they're within 12. So they are going to charge right for the destroyers, and while doing that, I gotta get my dice here. Okay. All right, now 4 charge. Okay, roll the 2 dice, and that's the charge distance. Okay, so got 8. I don't think 8 gets them within range. No, it doesn't. And unfortunately, if you don't close the distance, you don't get an attack. Ooh, this ain't looking good at all. Yeah, still outside range. Oh my god. Okay, maybe I should get in a little closer before charging. Yep. Okay. So they all charge, so they have no attack. So they can't fight. Necrons. Necrons can advance, do a normal move, and fall back. They can also charge. And you know what? They're all really close. And rolling really isn't even necessary, but why can't my Space Marines get rolls like that? So they are charging. Let's just do all the moves first. Let's see here. 8. Can he... Oh, he can reach. Yeah, he can reach this guy. Okay, apparently they're going to take out the Intercessors before they worry about the Lieutenant. Okay, Necron player rolls the attack for the first destroyer, scoring 2 hits. So the destroyers okay. So they're rolling 3. Okay. All right, so we have hits on a 3 or better. So 2 hits, and the Intercessor saves on a 3. Okay, saved 1. So he still took 1 hit. Okay, so that Intercessor has 1 wound. Okay, next we're gonna go this guy. Oh, okay. He did not hit anything. Okay, next one. Wow, 1 hit. And saves. Okay. Does the Plasmacyte... Yeah, the Plasmacyte can attack, but it really doesn't do a whole lot. So I think that it's just going to sit right there. So let's see its turn. All right, now start back down here since they're already in range. Okay, 1 hit. And the Destroyer saves on a 3. Okay, Destroyer does not save. So he is wounded as well. These two are just trading blows. Where's a wound marker when you need it? Okay, I know I have more than one. There we go. Okay, and the destroyers have 3 wounds. Intercessors only have 2. Okay, next Intercessor, 2 hits, 2 saves. Next one, 1 hit, 1 save. Oh, well, that's fun. Okay, so next we have the Lieutenant, who is going to charge down to this destroyer. Okay, and that's plenty. Okay. Oh. Actually, the Lieutenant gets 4 attacks. And he hits on a 2. Ah, he has a master-crafted power sword. Okay, so 3 hits. And the destroyer makes 1 save, so he takes 2 hits, which puts him down to 1. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. He's got 1 wound left. He also has 1 wound left. But this guy here has 2. Alright, Necron's turn again. Okay, we got 2 hits, 2 saves. Okay, right here. 3 hits, and 3 saves. Okay, you know what? He's going to put all his attention into killing that Intercessor. 1 hit. And a save. Okay, back to the Marines. So, 2 hits. I don't know why I rolled 3. Should only roll 2. But it didn't matter because they were all hits. Okay. This destroyer is down. Okay, next one. 2 hits. 1 save. So he's down to 2 wounds. Okay, Intercessor, 2 hits, 1 save. It's down. Okay, Primaris Lieutenant, move is 6. him 6. And he's going to shoot. And he's going to shoot at the Plasmacyte there. Oh, wait, you know what? Nah, between those 3 Intercessors, they can handle 1 destroyer. Okay, 4 hits. I think the Plasmacyte only has 1 wound. Yeah, and saves on 4. So, yeah, okay, Plasmacyte's down. Necron's turn. Two hits, 2 saves. Okay, this guy here is going to charge in. Well, let me roll for that charge first. Yeah, that's plenty high enough. Okay, we got 2 hits. 1 save. Down 1 wound. Next Intercessor. 2 hits. And down. Okay, so the Ultramarines have won this round. They stopped the Plasmacyte from awakening any other destroyers and eliminated the 3 destroyers that were there. Okay, so that does it for this week's issue. And I'll be back next week with issue number 5. See you then.